Welcome back. This is Ministry Eviction gameplay. I'm about to play a 1 versus 1 with Furina. For anyone who's played a lot of games, Furina is basically he's L, but he's not really trying so much. So he's named himself. He's changed his username to Furina. So yeah, I think in this game he's supposed to be trying quite a lot, but I don't know how well he'll be. He'll be quite rusty. It should be balanced out by the fact that I'm commentating while playing. And yeah, that's another thing. I'm commentating while playing during this game instead of commentating separately. So I'm going to be playing a little bit slowly and sloppily, probably. I can only imagine. I'm just looking at where the spawns are. Furina is all the way up in that corner. So I'm going to take that hex, I think. It's got some water in it, so it's good enough. And then I'm going to start getting everything ready, and I'm going to be going for a really early 2 silicon if I can. My first hex is a little bit suboptimal because of the coal being quite a long way away from the nearby water, but I probably should have used this patch instead. That was just a mistake. Other than that, coal's a little bit starved, but it shouldn't be anything actually annoying. So I'm going to be talking a lot in this game about what I'm thinking as I'm playing. So right now, I know that I'm probably going to want to rush him. And the reason that I know that is because it's by far the best thing to do in 1v1s. Rushing over to the person. So I'm immediately going for a large silicon array and to just get out of first hex. And as soon as first hex is done, I'm going to be going for an 8 flare factory. It's going to be a little bit of a different rush to what I normally do. Normally I do a quite short range rush using schematics like this one, which makes a little bit of flare and mostly tier 2. But in this case, I'm going to be going right for a massive amount of flares and just straight into basically polys and then tier 3. It tends to work better at longer range. I also may end up teching out depending on the situation of how he plays. So he's already got the 2 silicon up. I do a quick scout there. But I've already got a 6 silly out, so I don't really care. I've got my 6 silly out already. Now I'm going to go immediately for a div gen. I don't think I have any water that's nearby enough or wireable. I could probably technically use these, but that's going to be a pain, and I don't want to go through that. That doesn't sound fun. So I'm just going to set up. No, I only want to set up one of those. So I don't have enough graphite for this. That sucks. I misbuilt. I shouldn't have built one of those. But now everything should be working, and now I'm just going to go immediately into second hex and build another silicon factory. And that's basically how this is going to go for now. We're just rushing out 2 early silicon factories to be able to get a decent amount of flares. This is pretty much down. Taking that second hex, and he's got not a lot, which is very nice for me. But we'll see. So right now, the idea here is that in 1v1s, units can be used to slow down your opponent, and it doesn't need to gain you time. When you have more than 2 opponents, or more than 2 players in a game, building lots of units doesn't really make a lot of sense until late on when they're practically free. And the reason for that is quite simply that units just generally also, like, they hurt your opponent, and oftentimes they hurt your opponent more than they hurt you. Very, very often. But they don't actually do enough damage in FFA to one person to warrant the other person being completely undisturbed, and you both end up falling behind the person who didn't make any units. But here I'm just rushing out the flare factory, as you can see, and trying to expand in a roughly straight line towards L. Or Furina. Pew has that. I need to tell him. I need to tell him I'm 1v1ing. That could go badly. And I have coal in the core. I don't like that. Let me go over here and fix that problem. Yeah, I don't like coal core. I hate it. It's just not nice. Now I'm going to build polys. That's not the schematic I want. What am I doing? That's the schematic I want. And I'm going to use my daggers now to expand out in a slightly different direction to the way that's conventional, because I don't want to build my economy anywhere near Furina. I want to have my economy as far away as I possibly can, and I'm out of power. That's a problem. Let me fix that problem. I'm also out of metaglass. Uh-oh. That's an even bigger problem. Let me just start building scatters and some hails all over the place. So this is just for defense against person over here. Pew, in case they decide to attack me for some reason, even though I'm supposed to be 1v1ing with a completely different person, which would be a little bit mean, but what can you do? It happens all the time. Now I'm going to keep expanding up, and I'm going to keep using my daggers to expand down here. Now I want probably some more titanium, because I'm going to be rushing out tier 3 from this point. And some more thorium would also be nice. So I'm just going to set that up really quickly. Build a scatter and hail defense on this core. And then I'm going to make sure that my flares are still expanding. So are my daggers. I'm going to build silicon. Seems like a very useful resource. And 4. Looking at my hotkeys. And now I need more graphite. That's a problem. Needing more graphite and metaglass isn't nice at this point in the game. Metaglass I can get pretty easily. Actually, I should have made graphite first, shouldn't I? Whoops. What's my power like? Power is not nice. Oh well. Let me take that out. Send these up there. I can't get water up into that very easily. That might have been a mistake to put it there then. Now, I think one of my cores up there is dying. It's that one, okay. I don't much care about that, I think. Okay, so he's also rushing back. Nice, nice. But that does mean that I need power quite... That's not why I need power quite urgently, but power is something I need very urgently. I'm going to actually use some faster conveyor methods to get that done. Cool. I'm going to reconnect this all up. And I'm just going to try and keep flipping these cores for a minute until I can get a fortress, until I can get power fixed with a fortress factory or 2 out. Here we are. I'd say I have a good amount of defense now in those backline cores, so now I need to defend these. I'm going to send all of my units up into that hex, preferably, except all my units but polys. No, actually, I'm just going to take that out. Oh, that's a problem. Okay, so I'm going to make a fortress now. I think I can probably afford a 2. No, I can only afford a 1 times because I don't have enough silicon. That's unfortunate. So we're going to do this. Cool. probably making a ton of mistakes. Ooh, this isn't nice. This isn't nice. This isn't nice. Okay, well, we're backing up to here, and we're just going to hold that down. That's a problem. Okay. Well, that's not nice. That's not fun. I've made a big mistake there. Now he's going to have some very nice expansion. No, boy, polys. Is he actually going to get anything out of them? That's not even me. That's the wrong guy. Okay, I don't think he's noticed that that's the wrong person. Okay, that's lucky. That's lucky. He's going after the copper player instead. He wouldn't have been able to do anything with those flares because I was there, but so maybe going after the copper player is the best choice, objectively, but it's still not a good one to have to make. That's not fun. That's not fun. Okay, he blew that. I was really sloppy with my building there. Okay. Alright, so now I need to flip that right back. And I need to build another one of these. How much does that cost? I have enough. Cool. So I'm behind in a territory sense, but a long way ahead in a economy sense. So I'm just going to bring everything back here. Build some scatters over here. That's just not going to work. Yeah. Okay, that's good. That's very nice for me. One. Make sure that's alright. And now we put some more power nodes in there. Now that I have polys and some more power. Alright, so my APM here is lacking because I'm having to talk. But whatever, it is what it is. Fast conveyors, please. I want that to actually start up in the next 5 years. And now I'm going to go down here, I think. No, why are my units moving there? No, 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 no. This is a bad use of flares, yeah. So he's gone for quite a turtley strat, in that he hasn't built any fortress yet, which I can probably punish quite heavily if I play well. But that's a big if. I don't normally like to do that. I tend to somehow do really dumb things with my time and units and everything. But now I can R3 right there and build some more silicon while I'm getting that producing. So this is how you would play a really fast-paced 1v1 in a rush sense like this. He's going for stuff. I'm going to defend it. Just going to shift G. Make sure everything's defended. That's not defended. I can't really do much about that as of right now. But I can just do this and then this. And this. Now. And that's a mistake with his daggers. That's not worthwhile. Now I might need phase? Yeah, I have enough to just build phase here, I think. Do I have enough power? Maybe. I might have enough power. Good enough for me. Oh, he took out a core. That's a problem. Okay. So I'm just taking a beating here. Yeah. Oh, he's going for that. Okay. Don't allow him to land. Okay, now I want to rebuild all this. And I do, the difficulty here for him is that I have so many fortress. That's an eco hex now. I want to go for that instead. And now I'm going to send some flares up around and harass it. Yeah, so I should have built into those hexes, and I wasn't thinking. I was having to play at the same time. So now he's actually building fortresses, which is a big problem for me. But I think if I can get these daggers to shoot out that force field, hell, I might even be able to get the core itself with the daggers. No. Cool. But that's fine. I'm using fortress here. Never mind, he's going to notice. Oh, yeah, there we go. Got it. Nice. No, don't go that way. Don't go that way. Go after that. Please do not go that way. Now some power nodes on this core. Where are my flares? Oh, right, because I killed them all and didn't have a factory actively running. Whoops. Silly me. I need some more power. So I'm suffering losses here, but I'm not actually losing anything meaningful. So noticing this and putting up some defenses against it immediately is important here. Okay. I'm going to check power. This is not going to work on anything when I have polys. You just did it right in front of my nose. That's just not going to. Yeah, I'm just going to go right here, repair. Nothing even broke. This is player. He's starting to give up because he got some strategic advantages, but he didn't get enough actual benefit out of it to. Oh, that's saying plus 1.2k. Oh, he slash died. Okay, so that's that was a interesting game, but now I have to play against Pew. So now I've got to play against Pew. And I'm not going to invite Furina for the sake of keeping the game fair. I'm just going to 1v1 him from this point to see what you should do past here. So the reason that L gave up that early was because of how powerful fortresses are in units, in this sort of unit composition and this early on in the game. Content. So I'm going to build some titanium here because I feel like I might need it in a second. And until then, I'm thinking I'm actually going to put down another fortress factory. I think I probably have enough economy. Maybe not metaglass, but I can set that up pretty quickly. So here, this is what I do for big metaglass. Most people don't do this. It used to be the meta because no one liked sandy core, but now everyone just throws sand on the core and does that. And it's worse in my opinion. You've noticed I haven't done any sandy core the entire game pretty much. And I have 48 fortress, so I can probably just walk through him right now. It would be nice to be able to do that. Let's see. Can I? Ooh, I don't want to. I'm going to pull this down and I'm going to make some large unit members here. I don't want to let, yeah, so he's actually quite rich. I might have trouble getting into him here. We'll see, I can snipe that out, I'd say. I'm not so used to doing flare snipes because normally I don't have enough of them, so I do the slower rushing methods. Cool, now get polys down into there, and my player unit in there. Good. Oh, good. So that was slightly misplaced. Oh, there go my polys. Oh, that was a misplay. How large is the range on this? Quite large. Okay, so now his power's going, and now I'm just going to send them in. So I think he's tearing that up because he knows that he can't hold it, and I'm going to take it out. And I don't know why he left the polys in there, but probably just a misclick or something. Polys continue to help me. Build more scatters. Take this up to power. R1 a bunch, and R1 is the hotkey for Mendes. The biggest thing that you can do if you're not very good at the game or you're kind of slow is just learn all of the different hotkeys. So that's one way. He's just stalling out the fortress at this point, but he doesn't have enough power to actually successfully hold the fortress from anything. So let's see. How good is he at unit defense? If I right click, oh, he's going down there to build more. Never mind. If I right click on that, will he send polys to defend it? No, he won't. Okay. Managed to beat his to take a call by right clicking. That's very nice. So at this point, I'm going to send the daggers in to take out that. My power's going out. That's a problem. What have I built? I built that hex. Let me disconnect that. Probably more important to have this connected. Okay, now I'm going to use the daggers to take out the shields. Fun fact, when the shields are a lot smaller, they get a lot more health. It's interesting. I don't know why that is, but it just is. The smaller the shield, so the less power the shield has, the more health it has. Now I'm going to split units out to get them out of the core. And yeah, this is how you do hyper aggro in a nutshell. Some of these things were a bit weird in how I played, and this game's gone for 22 minutes long, so it's quite a long game already. But yeah, and I build a lot more polys than everyone else. Normally in the poly schematic here, people build a pulsar. But that's just above the flares, and if I'm not intending to go for a ton of flare snipes anyway, or if they're decent at defending against them, then yeah, it's a little bit painful. It's very hard to defend. It's very hard to actually get any. Forgot what I was saying. Anyway, that's pretty much the game over at this point. It was a bit of a wild game, and I will invite Furina now. He gave up much too early. He could have definitely come back from that, but he probably didn't feel like playing, which is fair enough. He was probably tired or something, and he didn't feel like playing, which is completely fair. Now I'm just going to put my fortress there, and put all my polys. Actually, I put my polys on rebuild, because I'm sure that there are some things that they should rebuild, just around the place. And I'll send these guys down here. I don't even know if I'll need them. I don't think so. They should be able to do some really nice micro here if I'm really good at the game. Oh, no, I was terrible with my micro. Oops. So I'll just put these there and they'll take out the core. Cool. And that's a full game. Well played. GG. Thank you for watching.